when we talk a little bit about the two words that you see up on the overhead, certification and accreditation, what comes to mind for you? What do you think certification, what's the difference between certification and accreditation? You can follow along with 320 here. What's the difference between certification and accreditation? Well, it was introduced with FSMA. Yeah, there we go.
Technical evaluation. Which one? Accreditation is a formal acceptance.
Formal acceptance, and the difference between that and accreditation is, accreditation is the formal acceptance, certification is what?
Technical evaluation.
Technical evaluation. So I kind of think of it here on 319, this note that you look at. Certification is technical review that assesses the security mechanisms and evaluates their effectiveness. Accreditation is the management's official acceptance of the information in the certification process finding. So the way that I've been involved with this in the past is you come in and you'll do an evaluation on system. Okay, let's say you have a system that is you have a system that is been in the R&D life cycle for a while, and I'll just draw something like this little tank that maybe it's got a cockpit over here, and then back here it's got this, and then maybe it's got a launcher like this. Okay. Let's say that this thing's been in development for a little while. You get to a point where, hey, everything seems to be operational, and we're ready to bring in usually it's a third-party assessment team. Usually it's 2 to 3 people, and they're subject matter experts in whatever given technology you need to be evaluated. In this case right here, something like this could be a real-time operating system, like VxWorks. Or it could be somebody who, for something like this, needs to test the comms. Radio expert, maybe somebody who's got some experience with Harris radios or secure transmissions. So those people come and get engaged prior to the certification. I'm going to meet with the system owner over the phone, call them up, and say, thank you for giving me your risk management framework package, your system security package, your SSP that has the 17 documents in it. Thank you. I've reviewed those with my team, and here are the questions that we have. And so you enumerate those questions prior to going on site with that customer, and hopefully by the end of that conversation, or maybe 1 or 2 more subsequent conversations, you can stand up a prototype of whatever network that you're going to be evaluating in your home office. So if I was going to be going out to Fort Rucker or Fort Sill or Fort Huachuca or down in McDill or wherever I'm going to be going, and they want me to evaluate something, I'm going to find out what operating system's running, what connectors, and what are the communications. Can I plug anything into it? right? And does it have a USB? Because a lot of these things do. That's how you upload new software to them, right? Uh, but we'll look over all the documentation and we'll come up with a game plan for certification. We go in there, we meet with our counterpart that's already on the team, that's subject matter expert on that team, and then based off of the conversations, if they're well trained, then usually what I've seen is the more successful certification processes that I've been in, the people like you that I meet with will tell me some of the Easter eggs that they know of on their project. And usually, by doing that, what ends up happening? Why do I say that's the more successful approach? So that's exactly right. Because the ones that are unsuccessful, guess what? I'm going to find them anyways, right? But if we on day one, you come out and say, hey, here's the warts that I got. There's 6 or 7 of them. Here they are. You're going to find them on our network. We already know about them. But hey, while you're here, Mr. $250 an hour or Team $500 an hour, you got your experts these are the guys that you want, the heavy hitters. They're coming in. They're going to evaluate the system. While you're here, can we brainstorm? Let's brainstorm for the week that we're here on site and figure out a way that maybe we won't pass the certification the first time here, but can you give us a few different options on ways that maybe we can rectify these situations? And a lot of times by doing that, they'll build in prototypes, or they'll go back to the drawing board while we're there, and we'll go through and help them to get in a better posture. And hopefully we don't have to come back out and reassess it. Now, why do I say that? Well, if you're going to pay people like me and you and our team to come out there, it's probably going to cost somewhere in the neighborhood of 120 hours per person. So let's say it's a team of 2, so it's 240 hours, right? If you're paying $154 an hour times 2, that's going to be $308 an hour, right? So then we take simple math here, 240, 300, and we get some big numbers right here, right? So let's see here. We got boom. Hold on. 0, 12. See, I knew somebody would be able to. So for that evaluation, for the 2 people for 3 weeks, 1 week on site, 1 week prep, 1 week report, that's what it's going to cost that customer right there. Now, that doesn't mean that they are going to pass. What that means is they're going to end up probably 3/4 of the initial engagements, like pre-assessments, 3/4 of them are not in a pretty situation. So those teams or those particular projects need to go back to the drawing board and probably need to call another team out to do it again. And if they don't get it right that time, they'd have to go through the process again. So it could be very expensive, and the customer, if it's not right the first time, would probably get a little upset at you. So once it's gone through the certification, what happens is it's presented to somebody who can make a decision to say everything looks good. From that, the system is accredited. So if you think about it, it could take a little bit of time, but also the accreditation of the system really means that now you could get the ATO, the authority to operate, or the certificate of net worthiness, which is that's what you're shooting for.